If your life was a movie, would you be excited to watch it? Main character energy isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, and no one embodies this transformation better than Chappell Roan. She went from a small-town girl in Missouri, working at a coffee shop, feeling stuck, doubting if her dreams would ever happen, to performing on the world's biggest stages, winning a Grammy, and becoming one of the most captivating it girls of our generation. But her glow-up didn't happen by accident. She made a choice to be unapologetically herself, a choice to keep going when no one believed in her, a choice to step into her own spotlight. And today we're breaking down the lessons from her story so that you can do the same. Because here's the thing, you don't need to lose weight, change your wardrobe, or land your dream job before you can start acting as the main character in your life. You just need to decide that you are one. Before we dive in, if we haven't already met, hi, I'm Jolene. I create content and share my lessons and experiences to help you become the best possible version of yourself. So if that's something you're interested in, then you might feel right at home here in my channel. I launched this It Girls series so that we can learn from the It Girls of our generation, their mindsets, attitude, and tips to help us all achieve the best version of ourselves. If there's anyone's story that you would like me to analyze, feel free to leave them down in the comments below and I would love to do a video on them. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. Understanding and defining what main character energy means to you. So what does being the main character actually mean? A lot of people assume that it's about being in the center of attention, commanding every room you walk into, always having flawless confidence, always being admired. But real main character energy isn't about being seen, it's about seeing yourself. And no one embodies this better than Chappell Roan. She didn't need an industry-approved image or have a polished, marketable persona to become the breakout star that she is today. Instead, she built her career on being undeniably herself. Campy, theatrical, emotional, rebellious. The moment she leaned into her own version of main character energy, everything changed. That's the first rule. Main character energy looks different for everyone. For some, it's about being vibrant and expressing yourself boldly. For others, it's about owning their quiet confidence, knowing your worth, and refusing to shrink in to meet someone else's expectations. Just like how Chappell refused to water herself down for the industry, you have to define what it means for you. Your main character energy might look like pursuing what excites you, even if no one around you gets it yet. Or embracing your quirks, your weirdness, your unique interests, instead of filtering yourself to be more likable. Or choosing your own pace, instead of rushing to meet someone else's timeline. Chappell Roan's success didn't happen when she tried to fit herself into the industry mold. It happened the second she broke out of it, when she stopped making music for a label and started making it for herself. The main character of your story isn't a role you perform, it's a truth you step into. Chapter 2. The mindset shift that will change everything. Now that you have defined what main character energy means to you, it's time to shift your mindset. Because if there's one thing that Chappell Roan's story teaches us, it's this. You don't get to be the main character by accident, you decide. Before she was a Grammy-winning artist, she was just a girl working at a coffee shop, wondering if her dreams had slipped away. The industry had rejected her, and she had every reason to believe that it was all over. But instead of seeing herself as a failure, she rewrote her own story. That's where main character energy really begins. In the moment that you decide that you are no longer an extra or background character in your own life. The moment you decide to stop living on autopilot. Most people live through life reacting, waiting for something external around them to change before they allow themselves to feel worthy, powerful, or confident. But Chappell didn't wait. She gave herself 1 year to make her music work again, not because she had a guarantee of success, but because she chose to believe in her own potential. You have to shift your mindset from why me to no, of course me. When Chappell got dropped by her label, she could have spiraled into self-doubt. She could have said, maybe I'm just not good enough. Instead, she doubled down. Most people look at successful women and think, why does everything work out for her but not me? But here's the difference. It girls don't question whether or not they deserve success. They act like it's inevitable. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? What if this works? Every powerful woman you admire made one important decision before the world even recognized her. She decided that she was already her. Chappell Roan was Chappell Roan before the world even knew her name. So if you're waiting for someone to hand you the main character role, you're waiting for a movie that will never be made. Chapter 3. The Art of Self-Prioritization and Why You Must Choose Yourself First. The world will not treat you like the main character until you start acting like one. Chapel didn't ask if she was good enough to be bold, theatrical, or different. She simply was. And in doing so, she became unforgettable. But before the world saw her as her, or that girl, she had to decide that she was worth prioritizing. If you are constantly shrinking yourself, putting everyone else's needs above your own, or waiting for the right moment to start treating yourself with the love and respect that you deserve, this is your sign to stop. Because here's the truth, no one is better than you, and you are not less deserving than someone else. You are not a supporting character in your own life. Most of us are taught to believe that confidence is something you earn, that we must become fitter, smarter, richer, or more successful before we are worthy of feeling like the main character. But look at Chapel. She was rejected by the industry, dropped from her label, and sent back to Missouri to work a minimum wage job. Literally the whole world told her she wasn't good enough. She could have believed them. She could have dimmed her light down after getting dropped from her label. She could have played it safe and blended in. Instead, she made herself impossible to ignore. She decided that even though no label wants her, that she was a star anyways. She showed up as the most unapologetic version of herself. She didn't wait to be adored to become larger than life. She treated her artistry with reverence. She dressed like a star before the world even saw her as one. She created performances that were for herself first. And that energy was so intoxicating, it eventually drew the world in. So start pouring into yourself the way you do for others. Care for yourself like you're someone worth loving. That means rest, movement, nourishment, and the small luxuries that bring you joy. Speak to yourself with the kindness that you give others. Stop saying things to yourself that you wouldn't say to your best friend. And stop seeking love from those who drain you. You do not have to earn your worth through overgiving. The people who succeed in life are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones that refuse to settle for anything less than what they deserve. You are not too much, and you are not asking for too much. The people who truly love you will never make you feel like you have to shrink to be worthy. So stop apologizing for your standards. Stop handing out your energy like you're a free sample at a random grocery store. In fact, you're not even a random grocery store girl. You are Erewhon, okay? Stop apologizing for your standards. Chapter 4. The Art of Romanticizing Life. Doing things you enjoy and making your happiness a priority. So for years, Chapel tried to fit into the mold that the industry had made for her. It wasn't until she decided to create a world of her own, one filled with glitter, camp, and unapologetic self-expression, that her career exploded. She made her life an art form, turning every stage into a spectacle, every moment into a scene. And here's the truth, you don't have to be famous to romanticize your life. You just have to start living like you're meant to be here, which of course you most definitely are. So start doing things for you and not for the audience. How often do we live our lives trying to entertain others, worrying if everyone around us is happy, if we're being perceived the right way, if we're fitting into expectations that were never ours to begin with? Just look at Chapel. She stopped performing for an audience that didn't get her, and instead she leaned into what she loved: drag, theatrical pop, the kind of over-the-top energy that made her excited to create. So now it's your turn. When you go out with your friends, stop stressing about whether or not you're having fun. Check in with yourself. Are you having fun? If you feel like you're shrinking yourself to fit into a social setting, ask yourself why, and shift your energy towards what actually makes you feel alive. Start doing things because they bring you joy, not because they look good on Instagram or would please the people around you. Because when you start to live for yourself, you will naturally become the person that people are drawn to. It's also important to note that romanticizing your life isn't about aesthetics, it's about intention. We see it online all the time. Perfect morning routines, cinematic coffee runs, the effortless main character energy of people who seem to have it all together. But let's be honest, romanticizing isn't about making it look beautiful, it's about making it feel beautiful. Chapel's success wasn't built on perfection, it was built on passion. She didn't wait for the perfect moment, the right record deal, or external approval to start creating the kind of music and performances that felt real to her. She made her life feel like art before the world even saw it that way. So an easy way to do this is to make small moments feel intentional. Light a candle when you journal, play your favorite music while you're getting ready. You can also create little luxuries for yourself, like instead of scrolling social media the first thing in the morning, take 5 minutes to stretch, sip tea, or simply exist without rushing. The more you treat your life like something to be savored, the more it will feel like a life worth living. Because the truth is, happiness isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Chapter 5. Get rid of the negative energy and start living as the main character today. If you want to feel like the main character, you have to start acting like one. You will never feel like the main character if you keep living as the background extra. So let me ask you, are you waiting for someone to cast you in your own story? Because the truth is, no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that people are constantly watching you, judging you, and keeping track of your every move. Reality check, they are not. You may not even be a side character in someone else's story. So stop holding yourself back because you're afraid of what strangers might think. Because once you stop living for the background characters, you can finally let yourself step into the spotlight. So stop comparing and start owning your energy. If you keep waiting until you're better or more successful to act like the main character, you'll be waiting forever. Chappell could have let rejection define her. She could have decided that just because she wasn't Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift, that she didn't deserve to be on stage. But instead, she owned what made her different. And that's what made people fall in love with her. There will always be someone smarter, richer, or more famous. But confidence doesn't come from being the best. It comes from owning exactly who you are. The moment you stop seeing yourself as less than is the moment you step into your it girl era. Because at the end of the day, no one can do you like you would. You already are the main character. The only thing left is to start acting like it. No one is coming to give you the role, you have to take it. So start romanticizing your life before it looks perfect. Because the moment you start treating it like something extraordinary, it becomes extraordinary. Everything we talked about today, the mindset shifts, the confidence, the ability to take up space, is already inside you. The only thing left is for you to act upon it. Chappell didn't wait for the world to recognize her. She didn't wait for the industry to hand her her dream life. She built it. She made the mundane magical. She turned setbacks into scenes and transformed herself into a star before the world even saw her as one. And you can do it too. If this video resonated with you, you will most definitely enjoy the other parts of my It Girl series. You can check out the other parts to learn even more lessons about stepping into your own power. And I want to hear from you. Who else should I cover next? What other lessons should I dive into? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know what or who you guys are interested in. Subscribe and give this video a like if you haven't already, because we are only getting started. And I would really appreciate it as it helps me keep this space growing to provide even more valuable content for you guys. Remember, stay radiant, stay fearless, and most importantly, stay you. Until next time, take care of your heart, your mind, and your dreams. I'll see you in the next video soon.